Picture this. You're deep in the African savannah. No tent, no fire, just you, on the ground, completely unconscious under the stars. A lion walks past, smells you, looks at you, and keeps walking. Why? You're helpless. You can't run. You can't fight. You are, by every biological measure, the easiest meal on the planet right now. So why doesn't it eat you? The answer isn't what you think, and it's going to change how you understand every predator on Earth. Most people think predators don't attack sleeping humans because they're afraid times of us. That's backwards. Lions, leopards, crocodiles, wolves, they are not afraid of you. A 180-pound human is nutritionally unremarkable to a lion that regularly takes down 600-pound zebra. Fear is not the variable here. The real answer starts with how predators actually decide to hunt. Dr. Craig Packer, University of Minnesota, has studied African lion predation for over 40 years. His research across Tanzania's Serengeti found that lions make hunting decisions based on a single calculation: caloric return versus caloric cost. A sleeping human is not free food. A sleeping human is a times problem. Because sleeping humans are almost never alone, they come with fire, with groups, with unpredictable behavior that could result in injury. And for a predator, one broken leg is a death sentence. The math doesn't work. So the lion walks past. Here's where it gets stranger. Predators operate on what behavioral ecologists call a search image, a mental template of what prey looks like, smells like, and behaves like. A sleeping human doesn't match. The search image for prey involves movement. Prey animals alert, bolt, freeze. A motionless human on the ground sends no familiar signal. You don't fit the pattern. Karen McComb, University of Sussex, ran a now famous 2013 study in Times looking at how predators respond to unfamiliar stimuli. Big cats, shown novel. Stationary objects, including human silhouettes in resting positions, showed investigative behavior, not predatory behavior. Their stress hormones rose. The novelty itself triggered caution, not appetite. 3 real-world examples prove this. The Maasai. These East African pastoralists have slept outdoors near lion territory for centuries. Their traditional practice involves sleeping in close clusters, and lion attacks on sleeping individuals remain extraordinarily rare despite regular proximity. The lions have learned that motionless Maasai are embedded in a complex, risky social context. The brown bear paradox. In North America, bear attack data from the National Park Service consistently shows that playing dead becoming more times like a sleeping person reduces fatal attacks by grizzly bears by over 75%. The bear's predatory trigger is deactivated by stillness. Crocodiles and riverside campers. The Nile crocodile, responsible for more human deaths annually than any other large predator, almost exclusively attacks people who are moving in or near water. Documented attacks on sleeping riverbank campers are vanishingly rare compared to attacks on people actively crossing or bathing. The pattern is consistent. Stillness disrupts the kill sequence before it begins. But wait, if predators are calibrated to avoid sleeping humans, why do some attacks happen at night at all? And why, in the rare cases where wild predators attack sleeping people, does it happen in such a specific, repeatable pattern? The answer to that is darker than the rule. The most documented cases of predators attacking sleeping humans involve one of 3 variables: injury, hunger, or learned behavior. The Tsavo man-eaters. 1,898, Kenya. 2 maneless male lions killed and ate an estimated 35 construction workers on the Kenya-Uganda Railway over 9 months, many of them pulled from sleeping tents at night. For decades, the popular explanation was pure aggression or territory. The real explanation, revealed by skull analysis at the Field Museum of Natural History by Bruce Patterson in 2001, was dental disease. Both lions had severe tooth decay and jaw injuries that made their normal prey, fast-moving ungulates, nearly impossible to hunt. Sleeping humans were accessible, slow, grouped in predictable locations. They didn't require a chase. The exception proves the rule exactly. It took broken predators denied their normal prey to cross the threshold. The same pattern appears in Project Tiger data from India, analyzed by wildlife biologist K. Ulas Karanth. Of 88 documented tiger attacks on humans studied across decades in Karnataka, the overwhelming majority involved either injured tigers, tigers displaced from territory by deforestation, or tigers in areas where natural prey populations had collapsed by over 90%. A functioning predator in a functioning ecosystem has no reason to risk a human. There's one more layer, and it's the one nobody talks about. You smell wrong, not metaphorically, chemically. Humans are one of the only large mammals on Earth that cook food, use synthetic materials, apply topical chemicals, and live in close proximity to fire and smoke. Our chemical signature is profoundly times alien times to wild predator olfactory systems. Paul Weldon, Smithsonian Institution, published research in 2004 in Times, Proceedings of the Royal Society Times, showing that human skin secretions contain a compound called Times trans 2-nonenal times, the same compound found in oxidized fats, which is essentially unrecognizable as prey to predators calibrated to detect herbivore biochemistry. It's not a deterrent, exactly. It's just noise, static, a signal that doesn't parse as food. Add to that the scent of fire, which every terrestrial predator on Earth has evolved to treat as a threat signal, and a sleeping human camp becomes a chemically confusing environment that activates caution at the neurological level before the predator even makes a visual assessment. You don't smell like prey. You smell like something to be careful around. Here's the bigger truth hiding inside all of this. The reason predators don't attack sleeping humans isn't because we're dangerous. It's because we're times weird. For roughly 300,000 years, Homo sapiens times has been the most ecologically disruptive species on this planet. We've hunted megafauna to extinction. We've altered habitats on every continent. We've eliminated apex predators from entire ecosystems. And wild animals, the ones that survived partly because they learned to read us correctly. Not as prey, not as a threat to fight, but as something unpredictable enough that the safest strategy is avoidance. The sleeping human isn't protected by weakness. The sleeping human is protected by 300,000 years of reputation. Back to that lion. It walks past you in the dark, smells you, looks at you, keeps walking. Not because it's afraid, not because you're dangerous, but because somewhere in the deep accumulated learning of its species, the calculus is clear. This one isn't worth the risk. And the reason it isn't worth the risk is because every other human before you, across hundreds of thousands of years, made absolutely sure of that. You didn't survive the night. Your ancestors did.